Yo, good evening, USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, YouTuber, host with the most, misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable, independent podcaster, the Queens, New York native of Laurelton, Queens, New York, who holds the back doors of the Q5 and the N24, both different locations of Jamaica, Queens, and Garden City by Roosevelt Field Terminal. And you're rocking and hanging out with me on the 295th episode of Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York Avenue podcast. We're live and direct from StreamYard alongside with YouTube, and alongside is the Instagram live feed. Be sure to turn on your notifications so you can know when I will be on Instagram live recording podcast episodes, and you're more than welcome to actually chime in on the topics, whatever you want. And speaking of which, you can go ahead and grab the subscribe button for me on the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555 for more live video episodes. And of course, be sure to leave a like and a comment along with the episodes and the topics that's being discussed. Grab the subscribe button for me on the YouTube channel page, along with alerts so you can be reminded of when the show goes on the air via live stream, along with the episode recordings and of course, yes, be sure to listen, stream, and watch the episodes in case you miss any of them. And of course, if you miss any of the episodes, don't worry. Everything's all there. All right. So so share the episodes, share the videos. You can download these episodes and of course add the podcast to your playlist with your favorite episodes whatsoever. And of course, I'll handle the rest at the end of this recording. All right. So we got a few things to get into today. So we got a few things to get into today. So let's get into it. Um got a few things to get into. So let's get into it right here, right now. Oh, by the way, you're more than welcome to support this show by giving some tips either to my Cash App or my PayPal, whichever one you want to donate. All right. All right, so let's get into the New York Mass Transit files right here. All right, let's do this. Okay, so all right, so New Yorkers are reacting to the $2.90 fare increase, right? Okay, so let's get into this. Yeah, a lot of people are upset about it too. I mean, I would too, but you know, it is what it is. But anyway, the cost of a ride on an MTA subway or bus officially increased to $2.90 on Sunday. Hold on. Yes, $2.90 on Sunday. The first increase in the base fare on New York City's mass transit in 8 years. The 15-cent fare hike was approved by the MTA board last month and also applies to excess ride paratransit service. Um, okay, so here's the breakdown of the and weekly unlimited fares and monthly. So weekly unlimited fares also rose Sunday to $34 and monthly passes hiked to 132. A single ride pass bumped up to $3 and a half price fare now costs $1.45. Express bus per ride fares are now $7 and weekly fares are now $64. Damn, son. Damn. Okay. Um Yes, so those tapping into the system using Omni can still ride for free after 12 trips in a given week, but that now applies to 7-day period. The fare for the fare for a single ride has stood at $2.75 since 2015, while weekly and monthly unlimited prices were last raised in 2019. Jeez. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Yes, it is. It is. Um, okay. So prices, yeah, prices. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Yes, prices are also going up on the Long Island Railroad and on Metro North. Tolls on MTA bridges and tunnels increased earlier this month. It is what it is, Miguel Ortiz told AM New York Metro as he waited for a B 35 bus in Brooklyn. You can't do no much. You have to do what you do. The MTA was required to raise fares as part of a financial rescue deal in this year's state budget, which called for the agency to raise its fare revenue by 4%. The state approved new streams of revenue for the authority as it faced financial uncertainty owing to a sluggish return of ridership that agency bigwigs bigwigs attribute to the rise of working from home. MTE honchos asserted last month that the fare increase was relatively modest, but some riders say they'll be unduly financially burdened by it, especially as inflation remains high, even if not quite to the level seen last year. I am unemployed right now, said Keisha McLean as she waited for an M15 bus to Kipsey. So if I have to go somewhere, it is going to be really hard. Another fare increase is scheduled to take place in 2025, likely bringing the cost of a ride over $3 for the first time. Some riders resented that they would have to pay more, while many riders simply skip the fare. The MTA estimates fare evasion cost it nearly $700 million last year. a record amount as the purchase appears to skyrocket. If they really want to receive more money, make sure people actually pay, said Leo Chan, an accountant from Flatbush, as he entered the Church Avenue BQ station in Brooklyn. This is just taxing the people who are being honest. With money from the state budget, the MTA is bolstering service capacity on some subway lines, and is also set to embark on a pilot for free bus service on 5 lines, one in each borough next month, which already happened. Um, yeah, I heard the Q4 is running for free, so that's pretty much what I've seen lately. The agency also expects to complete 50 station renovation projects by the end of the year, buying time with planned off-peak service outages to clean stations, make repairs, and add new amenities. Still, some riders question whether the level of service being provided justifies raising the fare. As long as there are more improvements, you know, I guess it has to happen. But as you can see, like around here, we could use a little bit more help in sanitation and cleaning up the subway, said Paulette um, Calianes, a beautician from Flatbush, entering the Church Avenue stop. So if it goes towards that, I'm for that. In June, the MTA's customer satisfaction stood at 59% on subways, a 2 point decrease from May, while on buses it held steady at 65%. Riders say they want to feel more safe and secure and see fewer people behave erratically, while bus riders are dissatisfied with long wait times. However, Chan notes the MTA still has most other cities beat in that it runs 24/7, a reflection of the city it serves. It's 24/7. I've been to other cities where the train is not as consistent, said Chan. It's not on time in New York, but at least it's always available, whether 20, 30 minutes, even at 3 a.m. So that's the good part. All right, so let's go to other MTA stuff. Um, in regards to the marathon service, actually, so let's get into it right here. All right, so let's get into it. Um, so this person asked, I'm running in the upcoming New York City Marathon and wanted to know if the MTA will be enhancing subway service for people heading to the starting line. Rick S. Morningside Heights. Um, the 6G and J lines will be running enhanced service on Manhattan Sunday, as they have been for a while, as part of service increases made possible in the 2023 NYS budget. Six trains are operating every 6 minutes for part of the day on weekends instead of every eight, while headways on the G and J lines have been reduced to every 8 to 9 minutes, down from every 10 to 11 minutes. On race day, subway station agents will be on hand to answer any questions and provide directional support to runners walking around mezzanines, turnstile areas, and platforms, assisting with fare payment and monitoring safety and cleanliness throughout stations. On Marathon Sunday, we try to avoid construction work near the marathon route that can cause delays. Riders can check the MTA website for service changes and status before they travel. And this is from Demetrius Critchlow, NYC Transit SVP, head of subways. This person asked, are there any more planned community meetings happening in the Bronx to discuss Metro North Penn Station access? From Dave R. from Co-op City. We know how important community input is at every step of the process, especially for a project of Penn Station access scale and impact. As such, representatives from Metro North and MTA Construction and Development will be presenting information at two upcoming Bronx Community Board meetings on November 6th and November 8th. Um, yeah. The City Council and Department of City Planning are also hosting a series of meetings on their rezoning efforts in the borough. The next workshops are scheduled for, well, it already happened, so October 16th and the 18th, so I don't need to read that one. Right. So another person asked, are all 472 subway stations equipped with cameras on the platform? How about onboard trains? Charlene M. from Flatlands. Cameras are a vital part of the MTA's safety strategy. To date, we've installed more than 11,600 of them in subway stations across the system, including on platforms, mezzanines, and in fare payment areas. Efforts to add coverage inside every subway car in the fleet by 2025 are well underway thanks to a major investment from Governor Kathy Hochul. Riders can feel comfortable knowing we've got their back for sure um, on their entire journey from fare gate to exit gate. And that's from Pat Warren, MTA Chief Safety and Security Officer. Okay. Okay, let's see. We don't need to do the US Open part. We don't need to we don't need to do the US. Well, wait. There's some other details behind it too, actually. If I'm not mistaken. Um, just a sec. I'm gonna save this one. I'm gonna save this one. You know what I mean? I'm gonna save this one for another time. Let's see. All right. Um, speaking of which, let's get into chatting on the jazz because we have we got some stuff to cover here. All right, we got some stuff to cover here. So let's get into let's get into chatting on the jazz, man. Right here, right now. All right. Um, okay. One moment. Okay. All right. All right. I want to get into so there is a little relief there is a little relief in regards to a potential strike in the school bus industry that's already been averted, thank goodness, because that would be a catastrophe right there. Um, that would be a catastrophe right there. And yeah, um, okay, let's get into the all right, let's get into yes, here it is. Um, and this is from the Patch website. Um, so New York City, a looming school bus strike has been averted as New York City and the drivers union reached a tentative deal this week, according to city officials and reports. City Hall's agreement with ATU Local 1181. Yes, 1181 covers 5 years of contracts with the city's largest school bus companies, responsible for roughly 4,000 routes, according to City Hall spokesperson Jonah Allen and a Daily News report. End quote. We are grateful that ATU local 11800 no 118 hold on a second 1181 and DOE contracted school bus companies were able to come to a voluntary agreement, says City Hall spokesperson Jonah Allen. When labor and management come to the table in a spirit of mutual cooperation, we can achieve meaningful results for all New Yorkers. ATU Local 1181 Chief of Staff Carolyn Rinaldi reportedly told the Daily News, "This is huge. The drivers in question deliver more than 80,000 students, including thousands of students with disabilities to school, according to City Hall. The deal does not cover NYC's bus, a non-profit school bus provider, still negotiating with the city over its service on about 800 routes. The deal won't be finalized until ATU members ratify a memorandum of agreement, the Daily News reports. The Education Department declined to provide comment. Okay, moving on to the next one right here. Moving on to the next one. We have an unfortunate passing in the R&B group 702. Unfortunately, and this is from Entertainment Weekly. Um, Her name is Irish Grinstead, a member of the R&B girl group 702 and singer on their hit single "Where My Girls At" has died. She was 43. Um, Grinstead's sister and fellow 702 singer Lamisha Grinstead announced the news in an Instagram post alongside a photo of Irish on Saturday. It is with great sadness that I have to let you know that my beautiful sister and friend has passed away this evening. She wrote, she has a she has had a long battle and she is finally at peace. Oh boy. That's gotta suck though, man, if you really think about it. That has to suck. You know what I mean? Damn. Yeah. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, very unfortunate. Um, very unfortunate actually. Yes, so the post continued, that girl was as bright as the stars. She was not only beautiful on the outside, but also within. Sharing the stage with her was a joy I will cherish for the rest of my life. We, the family, ask for prayers and respect for our privacy as we grieve in an outstanding loss to our sister. Um, While Grindsted's cause of death was not disclosed, the group announced in December 2022 that Irish would be taking time away from performing due to serious medical issues. The singer's death comes 15 years after that of her twin sister, Irish Grinstead, who was part of the group's original lineup before passing away at 27 from kidney failure in 2008. The Las Vegas raised Grinstead sisters, who named their girl group after their hometown area code, originally completed their musical group with the addition of Kalila Williams. Together, they rose to fame in the late 90s following the release of their debut album, No Doubt, in 1996. They garnered attention and critical praise with their first release, which featured early songwriting credits from Missy Elliott, but it was their self-titled sophomore album that truly marked their arrival. 702 featured the trio's best known track, the 1999 single Where My Girls At, which was produced and co-written by Elliott and Pete, that number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. The group would release one more album, Star, and appear on the Pootie Tang and Good Burger soundtracks before they disbanded in the mid 2000s. Other members of the ensemble throughout the years, including Amelia Cruz, Cree Limor, and Tiffany Valar, Valario. Um, okay. The Grinstead sisters and Williams regrouped in 2017, performed at the year's Soul Train Music Awards, and signed on for the reality show BET Presents the Encore. Irish stepped away from the group in 2022 for a medical leave. Elliott was among those who paid tribute to Grinstead on social media, writing, "Irish, may your beautiful soul rest peacefully in the arms of the Lord." A multitude of prayers for the entire Grinstead family. Okay. Williams also shared a photo of Irish and remembered both Grinstead sisters in an Instagram tribute. "I struggled with this post because to me, this isn't real," she wrote. "There's a lot I want to say, but there's no way to say what your heart hasn't fully accepted. It's hard to acknowledge this is even happening. I know you are feeling better now and hugging your twin, or Orish, which makes me smile because I know how much you miss her. You missed her." And she added, "You and I have known each other since we were kids, and we laughed, cried, celebrated, and everything in between, which is why I just don't want to believe this. You'll always be my IBG, and I still love you, my forever little sis. Rest easy, Irish." So SIP to Irish Grinstead. All right. Okay. Next we have so the Hollywood writers strike is over. What's next for the writers? So what's next for the writers? So after 148 days, these writers are looking forward to getting back to work, and according to NPR, who are they? The Writers Guild of America represents nearly 12,000 writers in show business across the U.S. Two members, writers Elise Brown and Kylie Brakeman, spoke with All Things Considered about what it means to them for their strike to finally be over. What's the big deal? If you've been following this story, you'll know the many hours of organizing and negotiating that went into finalizing the historic deal between the striking writers and the studios they work with. There were plenty of twists and turns, including rogue studio tour visitors joining the picket lines, trees getting chopped, and executive making comments that might not helped their case or their cause. Excuse me. Um, and of course, there's the personal impact on each writer that participated in the strike. Many struggled to make ends meet and worried about their place in the industry as AI become more common. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, that's something to be that's something to really be scared about though actually. Yes, so there's more to this story. So, what are they saying? Here's how Brown and Brakeman reflected on the past few months and what they see in their future, how the pause impacted their own lives. So Brakeman says, "I definitely felt a little aimless, a little wandering, it sort of felt like the first week or two of COVID lockdown. Um, okay, so yes, but only apply to us. I picked up the banjo. We were on strike for long enough for me to buy a banjo, sort of learn how to play the banjo, and then completely forgot how to play the banjo. Oh shit. Oh man, that's crazy. So Brown says the 5 months were definitely hard. I love to write. It's one of my favorite things to do. And even when I'm not working, I still kind of do it on the side for my own things. I say that the first month or two I was able to write, but towards the second half of it or so, there was just so much anxiety and emotion built up in terms of just trying to figure out where the strike was going and trying to continue to make ends meet and also just worrying about being out on the lines and the uncertainty of it all. That I just wasn't really writing very much. Wow. And of course, they give their thoughts about the deal struck by the WGA. I think it's great that they started to establish a framework for residuals for streaming because I think that most of our jobs will be streaming. And so to finally have something codified that will say, like, hey, we deserve to be paid for this because this is TV. We deserve to be paid for this. I also think the gains are pretty significant. I think that film and TV is being hijacked by tech overlords who want to turn film and TV into like content sludge that we slurp up. There has been this draw, and I think that this is a good first step at saying, hey, writing is work. A robot cannot write for us. I think not to get all poetic or whatever, but binding humans to art, I think, is very important. And I think that that's a fundamental thing about art that cannot be taken away. And Brown says, I think the deal is something that's going to affect all of us. I think that it's important to even just having the ability to have conversations about protecting our work from being used to train AI, which is artificial intelligence, folks. About being in control of whether or not um, AI material is considered intellectual property, and of course, what they look forward to tackling next. So, Brakeman says, I am looking forward to hopefully being staff in the future. I think that being in a writer's room is sometimes the most fun thing in the world. I love just those weird little tangents that you go on when everyone's in a room. Like, okay, what was this weird McDonald's character that they discontinued in the 80s? And why were people mad about it? Just going on these rabbit holes with people sometimes generates the most fun stuff. And I miss that feeling of being in a room and bouncing off other people. Um, Brown says, I'm really excited to go back to work, and I know that we're all been very excited to go back to work, but I also feel for everyone who is currently looking for work. The industry has contracted a little bit. Shows have gotten canceled and pulled during the strike and even before. And I also still hope that the actors who are still on strike are able to get a great deal and get some of the same protections and gains that we were able to do. So what now? While writers are back to work, members of SAG AFTRA are still on the picket lines. And it isn't just Hollywood seeing a moment in organized labor. Several major U.S. industries striking or threatening to walk off are showing that 2023 has been the year of the union. Damn, son. Well, I'm glad that the writers got the chance to get everything resolved and stuff. So I'm really glad that they did they part to actually get it resolved and stuff. So now, as far as SAG After, I'm gonna do a separate episode about them too, because they're really trying to drag this shit to eat to 2024, which I'm gonna save my thoughts on that one in a future episode. All right, let me see who just came in, and Heritage Hip Hop. Thank you for looking at this live stream. Um, okay, so let's get into oh boy, what did I do here? All right, all right, so next, we need to talk about the recent flash floods. Okay, so the recent flash floods that happened 3 weeks ago, according to the Washington Post, more than a month's worth of rain fell Friday across parts of New York City and Long Island, much of it within a few hours, flooding utility infrastructure, stranding vehicles, and subway commuters and prompting an emergency declaration. In all, more than 7 inches of rain have fallen in the most waterlogged sections of Brooklyn and Queens from the overnight hours through Friday afternoon, about double their normal precipitation for September. It was more than enough to make Fridays on record, and the weather's at JFK International Airport with nearly 8 inches of rain. The rainfall sent floodwaters pouring over roadways and into subway stations and basements across the city, though no deaths were reported. See, the floods are pretty scary though. So they're pretty scary though. Yeah, very scary. Um, Yeah, nobody was hurt though, that I recall. And yeah, I've been asking some customers if they were okay during the flash flood. Hopefully there was nobody in an accident or anything like that. But I gotta say, man, that shit is very, very, very scary, man. That shit is very scary though. You know what I mean? Very, very, very scary. All right. All right, let's keep going here. Let's keep going here. Shit. Um, yeah, let's keep going here. Yeah, so let me see, where did I leave off? Let me make sure I didn't. It's more than enough. So Floods forced the closure of FDR Drive along the East River throughout lower and midtown Manhattan, as well as sections of the Brooklyn Queens Expressway. The Metropolitan Transit Authority warned of major service disruptions and suspensions on several subway lines that continued into the afternoon. LaGuardia International Airport closed one of its three terminals after floodwaters poured inside. Mudslides were reported in lower Westchester County. Governor Kathy Hochul declared a state of emergency across New York City, Long Island, and into the Hudson Valley, urging residents to refrain from traveling on flooded roads. The flooding was the worst the city had seen since Hurricane Ida, um, whose intense downpours in 2021 killed more than 40 people across the New York region. Some of those deaths include people who drowned in basement apartments that quickly filled with water. New York fire authorities said um, residents of six basement apartments had been rescued by midday Friday, and firefighters also responded to many calls for people trapped in vehicles. Um, so Rohit Agarwala, the city's chief climate officer, stressed that climate change probably contributed to the intensity of the rainfall and that it overwhelmed storm water systems not designed for such precipitation. Give me a break. Climate scientists have long predicted that the planet's warming temperatures, the result of fossil fuel consumption, would lead to heavier downpours. Warmer air is capable of holding more water vapor. The sad reality is our climate is changing faster than our infrastructure can respond. Jano Lieber, chief executive of the MTA, said improvements made since Ida prevented flooding from filling subway stations Friday, but that service suspension was nonetheless affecting more than a dozen subway lines. Okay. By late afternoon, flash flood warnings were discontinued across New York City, but still covered western Long Island and stretched as far north as Danbury, Connecticut. The Weather Service reported multiple water rescues and stranded motorists in Nassau County. The setup for Friday's storms was one that is notoriously difficult for forecasters to pin down. While they knew soaking rains would spread across the New York City region, it was not clear in advance where the most exceptional and localized downpours would develop. Ahead of the storm, the Weather Service warned that some spots might see 5 to 7 inches of rain, but said it had low confidence in whether or where that might happen. Areas that are prone to flash flooding across the New York metro area will likely experience flash flooding today, so turn around and don't drown. The National Weather Service's Weather Prediction Center cautions. Mayor Eric Adams said the city government took steps to warn residents about potential flooding as early as Thursday afternoon, including issuing a travel advisory. All the necessary precautions were taken, he said. Worsening the storm's impact was the fact that overnight downpours left the ground sudden, and waterlogged before the heaviest rain began. The ground was unable to absorb additional water, dramatically boosting the flood risk. Um, Rain totals so far by late afternoon, JFK International Airport logged the record 7.98 inches of rain since midnight, surpassing the previous mark set Hurricane Irene in 2011. Nearly 4 inches fell at Central Park in Manhattan from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., and its Friday total had topped 5 inches, making it the eighth rainiest day on record. The Weather Service reported 6.02 inches in Midtown Manhattan. On an average, Central Park gets about 3.4 inches of rainfall in September. The New York State um, Masonic, a group of local weather stations, showed as much as 7.21 inches of rainfall in Brooklyn. Sheesh. Other rainfall totals the Weather Service reported across the New York region: 6.91 inches in the uh, Ozone Park area of Queens, 6.71 inches in South Slope, Brooklyn, 5.7 inches in neighboring Nassau County on Long Island, 5.13 inches in New Rochelle, and 4.58 inches in Greenwich, Connecticut. By late afternoon, the heaviest rain was falling over western Long Island and southwestern Connecticut, with drenching rains spread across southern New England. The rain developed through a rather atypical pattern in which a concentrated strip of low pressure sent winds converging over the New York City region that pushed air rich in Atlantic moisture upward to spawn a band of heavy downpours. Additional moisture was swirled north from the subtropical Atlantic courtesy of an approaching upper level low, or a bowling ball of high altitude cold air, low pressure, and spin. The disturbed weather off the mid Atlantic and northeast coast feeding the rainstorms can actually be traced to Tropical Storm Ophelia, which dissipated over the area nearly a week earlier. Damn, son. All right, so glad nobody was hurt. So let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic right here. Um, okay, I don't know what the issue is, but let me see. Yes, Mobb Deep. No, Havoc from Mobb Deep. According to TMZ, Mobb Deep's hit "Shook Ones" Part Two has stood the test of time for nearly 30 years. But the iconic record could have had a tragic legacy, according to Havoc, um, who's revealing he survived a near fatal fight when they shot the music video. The surviving Mobb Deep member recalled the wild moment for Vivo's Footnotes channel. He says he got into a fight with a guy from the neighborhood who felt like he wasn't getting enough screen time in the video. Half says they started fighting and fell into a puddle only for one of the camera crew lights, to fall into the water and drastically increase chances they'd be electrocuted. Oof, that's scary. That's very scary. That's very scary though, man. You know what I mean? Very, very, very scary. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue. All right, so this is from TMZ, actually, one of my favorite sites to get information. Um, yeah, one of my favorites to get information and all the other great stuff right there. So, um, Mobb Deep hail from the Queensbridge projects in Queens, New York, and and historically rough place, which they detail in much of their catalog. But thankfully, cooler heads prevailed. Havoc tells TMZ Hip Hop he settled things up with the guy he was squabbling with, and they still remain friends to this day. Um, and the song went on to be dubbed an all-time classic, earning placements in multiple video games and most infamously the closing scene from Eminem's 8 Mile film. Sometimes the bros just gotta hug it out. Yeah, okay, that part might be true. Um, that part might be true though. Let's see. Let me make sure I cover the basis of let me see. We covered flash flood. I said I was gonna say that oh, the NYC horse is dead. Oh shit. Forgot to get to that. Oh shit. Hold on. Hold on. Where is that story? Okay, so unfortunately we have a tragedy and it involves an animal. All right. So a New York City carriage horse died earlier this week at a Midtown stable, reigniting controversy between activists who deemed the industry abusive to animals and the carriage drivers who say they love their horses and are just doing an honest day's work. Hmm. Okay, not sure what that means, but it is what it is. The 17-year-old horse, Blackjack, passed away earlier this week after suffering colic from colic and an abdominal condition that commonly conflicts horses. A spokesperson for the Transport Workers Union Local 100, the union representing Central Park carriage drivers, confirmed to AM New York Metro. The union says stable staff noticed Blackjack was exhibiting signs of colic and started administering medication and consulting with veterinarians with the intent of transporting him off-site for care. But the horse died before its vet could show up. Oh boy. Hmm. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, that has to really suck right there, man. Oh, for a horse. Sh- Shit. That's crazy. That's really crazy though. And awful to hear. Um yeah, that's crazy and awful to hear though. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Let me see how much time we got here. Yeah. Okay, so and let me see. All right, hold on. Sorry about that. Hmm. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so the union says stable staff noticed Blackjack was exhibiting signs of colic and started administering medication and consulting with veterinarians. With Yeah, I already read that part. Okay, so the owners and driver of Blackjack and our stablemen, who all cared for him and tried to save him, are still in shock and are mourning, said Christina Hansen, a carriage driver and shop steward at TWU Local 100. It happened so quickly. Hug your loved ones, whether they have two legs or four. Colic is the leading cause of premature fatality among horses. Um, the American Horse Council estimates about 10% of American horses suffer from colic each year, and 0.7% of them die, equating to about 64,000 horses. New York City's carriage horses, like others, are not immune to fatal colic episodes. A Belgian draft horse named Billy died from colic in his Manhattan stall during a heat wave last summer, and five horses died of colic between 2019 and 2021, according to health department records shared with AM New York Metro. Um, the majority of carriage horses die after retirement, which occurs upon reaching age 26 or being deemed not healthy enough to work, said Hansen. And they often leave the city at the point or move into less intensive horse occupations like trail riding or therapy. But animal rights activists um posit that Blackjack's death is just the latest example of fatal neglect and abuse in the industry, which they say involves dangerous and stressful work on chaotic midtown streets. End quote. The tragic and agonizing death of Blackjack is another harrowing reminder of the horse owner lobby's persistent neglect and callous disregard for these animals, said um, Edita um, Bernkrant, executive director of New Yorkers for Clean, Livable, and Safe Streets, a group seeking to ban the horse carriage industry in New York. This is not an isolated incident, but a reflection of a profit driven system that treats horses as expendable commodities. An investigation and necropsy are necessary to determine exactly what happened to Blackjack. The horse carriage industry has been under heavy scrutiny since last summer when a working horse named Ryder collapsed on a Hell's Kitchen street during a heat wave. Damn. The incident was captured on Dramatic's video that also showed his driver prodding the horse to get up and even whip him instead of providing care and assistance. The severely underweight rider was taken out of the city to be treated for what the uniform said was a nasty case of acute protozoal um, myeloencephalitis. Damn, which is EPM, folks. It was later determined that the driver, Ian McKeever, had told police Ryder was less than half his true age, and in reality should not have been working, especially in a heat wave. Ryder was euthanized a few months later for what vets suspected was cancer. TWU was both up its veterinary practices for carriage horses since Ryder's death and the resulting media firestorm. the horse's new vet, Dr. Gabriel Cook, comes to the stables every other week to conduct city mandated physicals on horses and consultations with drivers. In a statement, the vet who works at the New England in Queen practice upstate said that all protocols were followed with blackjack and there is zero fault to be placed on anyone. The union has also brought an expert horse caretaker, Tristan Aldrich, to observe horses at Central Park once a week and flag any health concerns he sees. Aldridge comes to New York City after a career caring for horses in carriage competitions and at the Royal Mews of Buckingham Palace. And last month, an University, Anthony Bleakslager conducted an audit at the three Midtown horse stables. He concluded that all the horses he saw were in excellent body condition and none appeared to be in any pain or distress. Hanson, the de facto spokesperson for the carriage drivers, accused NYC hold on, NY class of exploiting Blackjack's death for fundraising and political clout. This is like a dog owner having his beloved dog die suddenly of a heart attack and then get publicity um and get publicly accused of being an animal abuser, said Hansen. This group of extremists who make horribly false accusations constantly to raise funds for itself has zero credibility and no shame. But NY class asserted that Blackjack hadn't received a veterinary exam since February, a point about which was confirmed by Hansen, who noted each horse gets physicals twice per year. Hansen says colic cannot be diagnosed until a horse is outwardly showing physiological or behavioral symptoms. In a 2017 video, she said that carriage horses don't colic because of their hay-rich diet, ready access to water, and constant movement. Colic can be caused by all sorts of things like gas accumulation in the gut, a twisted intestine, or blockage. It can also be caused by improper feeding, where horses eat moldy or dusty hay or eat too much grain compared to forage. The horses mainly eat hay at the stable, but consume grain while out and about to bulk up on calories. Former Mayor Bill de Blasio famously promised to ban horse carriages, but never followed through amid heavy opposition by TWU and others. But the movement has regained steam since Ryder's death last year. There are now 18 members of the city council co-sponsoring a bill to phase out horse-drawn um, carriages and replace them with electric horseless carriages, with TWU drivers first in line to get licenses to operate the new cabs. Not sure how that's going to work. I'm not sure how that's just going to work, but the bill intro 573 is unofficially named after Ryder. Once again, we mourn the loss of yet another horse, said Queens Council member Bob Holden, the primary sponsor of Ryder's Law. The continuous deception by the carriage industry about their horses' conditions is evident, with Blackjack and Ryder representing just a fraction of the suffering these animals endure. The call to transition to horseless carriages should have been heeded long ago, and New Yorkers demand an end to this cruelty. Sheesh. All right, so Jagged Edge member Brandon Casey involved in a serious car crash. So Jagged Edge Brandon Casey revealed he was involved in a car accident on Sunday, September 17th. The singer took to Instagram to detail his status in the accident's aftermath. He included a picture of his vehicle from the car accident, showing his car completely totaled. When you know God got you through it, you gotta say thank you, Brandon type. You gotta feel gratitude, not just speak it. Thank you, Father. I know I wouldn't be here without your grace and mercy. I'll probably never be the same, but I'm so grateful I'm here. Thank you, Jesus. The post was met with support from his peers as they sent love to the R&B singer. I texted you and you texted me right back. I love you and you're gonna be good. Jermaine Dupri said, "You're gonna be good, Lord willing." His brother Brian Casey typed, um, "I'm praying." Jazzy Faye lovingly wrote, believing that miraculous healing is already underway. God is already at work on you, brother, and your trust and acknowledgement of Him is what will bring you through. In His name, we pray. Um, 2 days after his car crash post, Casey uploaded a post mourning Jagged Edge's security guard. Rest in peace, my brother. You will forever be missed. You was my bodyguard without me ever asking for your protection in high school. Turned into jagged first security, and most of all, we brothers love you. Dan C. Witherspoon, you gave love, and for that you are loved and will never be forgotten. Big sigh. And of course, so so of course, prayers and condolences to Brandon Casey, Jagged Edge, and their families. All right, glad he's doing all right. That's glad he's doing all right though. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, before I go to Sullivan's Crossing, before I go to Sullivan's Crossing, um, Rotten Tomatoes is in hot water, according to Collider. Um, there has always been criticism of Rotten Tomatoes. The site has cast such a wide shadow over film discourse for so long that it feels like the shortcomings of this review aggregate website are almost as enduring as anything else related to this online destination. Why wouldn't there be gripes over this website? Rotten Tomatoes functions on a binary system, putting every motion picture into either fresh or rotten categories while minimizing the presence of actual critics who are writing nuanced pieces about individual films. Complex works of art that takes years to produce are boiled down to not just a blurb, but a splat or a piece of fruit. No wonder people have for years offered up a wide range of critiques over how Rotten Tomatoes is impacting the world of film uh, criticism. Still, even with all the endless criticisms about Rotten Tomatoes and its impact on movie discourse, a recent controversy has opened up the floodgates for criticism over this website. On September 6, 2023, Vulture ran a piece from writer Lane Brown titled "The Decomposition of Rotten Tomatoes," which detailed how the site was making room for publicity companies to basically buy up positive reviews from critics. It was devastating. It was a devastating piece reflecting that something was rotten in the state of Denmark when it came to Rotten Tomatoes. But then again, it's not like this. It's is the most surprising development in the world. Controversy. Oh boy. Controversy at its best. That's crazy, man. Let's see. Hold on a second. First and foremost, yeah, that's crazy though. First and foremost, let me do this for Brandon Casey. And hold that thought. Okay, had to get the warm tea actually real quick though. Let me continue where I left off. Oh yeah, this. All right. All right, let's continue here. Um yeah. All right, so Rotten Tomatoes has always been building to something like this, the structure of the site and its overwhelming presence in how the general public processes cinema made it inevitable. Hmm. Wait a second here. Yes, 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 yes. Uh, Positive reviews. Okay, let me read this again. So still, even with all the endless criticisms about Rotten Tomatoes and its impact on movie discourse, a recent controversy has opened up the floodgates for criticism over this website. On September 6, 2023, Vulture ran a piece from writer Lane Brown titled The Decomposition of Rotten Tomatoes, which detailed how the site was making room for publicity companies to basically buy up positive reviews from critics. It was a devastating piece reflecting that something was rotten in the state of Denmark when it came to Rotten Tomatoes. But then again, it's not like the most surprising development in the world. Rotten Tomatoes has always been building to something like this. The structure of the site and its overwhelming presence in how the general public processes cinema made it inevitable. Look, look. You you shouldn't really have to. You shouldn't really have to worry about if you like a certain movie, go ahead and watch it. You don't have to seek approval for um you don't have to seek approval from movie critics. Fuck them. Like you have to like if it's a movie that you enjoy watching, then go ahead and check it out for yourself. Not based on movie critics. You feel what I'm saying? All right, so the Vulture piece about Rotten Tomatoes heavily revolves around the actions of PR company Bunker 15, which in 2018 engaged in the practice of paying little known yet Rotten Tomatoes approved writers $50 plus to cover individual titles. This process, oh wow. Wait a second. Wait a second. Let's wait a second here. $15 process. That's crazy, man. Um $50 process. Hold on 1 second. All right, $50 process. Wow. This process was apparently applied to the Daisy Ridley indie film Ophelia, with a Bunker 15 employee emailing one critic to note that a very cool thing to do would be for writers to put negative reviews of certain titles on websites Rotten Tomatoes doesn't track. As movie reviews began to trickle in, excuse me. Um, trickle in. Ophelia's Rotten Tomatoes score slipped into the territory of fresh, with Brown drawing a correlation between that event and IFC films subsequently picking up Ophelia for domestic distribution. Um, okay. This Vulture essay goes on to quote various insiders in the movie business about just how important working with Rotten Tomatoes has become in their day-to-day jobs. The site's metrics have even influenced the way studios green light movies. While major companies have often selectively screened their titles in advance to certain potentially more receptive crowds to ensure an early noteworthy Rotten Tomatoes score. The old Hollywood way of screening films relentlessly to get word of mouth and basic visibility up for any new title has largely withered away thanks to concerns over how that practice can impact an individual movie's Rotten Tomatoes score. In the process, many big superhero movies or similar tentpoles get to have initially promising Rotten Tomatoes ratings, but the credibility of the site gets further and further strained. The decomposition of Rotten Tomatoes is a fascinating piece of writing reflecting the problems with Rotten Tomatoes as a website, but also how it's one piece of a larger corrupt puzzle. Rotten Tomatoes, which is owned by both NBC Universal and Warner Brothers Discovery, two companies with major movie studios to handle, has given tools to people who've always tried to game the system of film criticism. This Bunker 15 phenomenon or obsession with early fresh scores doesn't indicate that the film criticism system is broken. It's performing as studios and other powerful figures and in the entertainment industry always wished it would. In 2001, controversy exploded over Sony Columbia Pictures using a fake critic by the name of David Manning to provide positive reviews for the studio's recent titles, such as Hollow Man and The Animal. At the same time, Sony was also revealed to be using studio employees as fake real moviegoers, waxing poetic on the joys of the Patriot. There wasn't much in the way of consequences to this phenomenon, though Sony did eventually have to pony up $1.5 million to deceive moviegoers as punishment for their actions. Considering Sony made a profit of $71.1 million from its video games division alone in just its third quarter of that same year, a $1.5 million fee was nothing for this film company. Ooh. Ooh. Um, hold on a minute. Hold on 1 second. Okay, okay, where was I? Where was I? Um, yes, so in April 2006, Jim Hill of Jim Hill Media dedicated an entire piece on Jim, um, a radio-based film critic that Hill accused of pumping up reviews for Disney movies with bombastic praise, packed quotes, tailor-made for a DVD cover. This includes features like The Wild, which was otherwise not screened for critics. Hill noted that Jim and folks like him were common on the internet and in other forms of media, much to the jargon, excuse me, of other figures in chagrin, yes, other figures in the world of film criticism. For years, people for years before Jim Hill's piece, Stephen McCaff of Slate talked up about the dangers of then modern internet film criticism, namely the oversized influence of film critic Harry Knowles. Not only did this piece bring up how cozy Knowles was with major movie studios, but it also critiqued his relentless emphasis on highlighting franchise fare and writing pieces that sounded more like press releases than anything else. Knowles had a lot of sway over the internet and even sectors of the film industry, and that wasn't necessarily a good thing. Okay. These blasts from the past are necessary to note both that studios have resorted to trickery in the past when it comes to bolstering the reputation of certain titles and that problems with internet-based film criticism are nothing new. The dwindling down of corporations and the movie studios controlling the media landscape, though has exacerbated these problems. With so few options in the marketplace, Rotten Tomatoes is now looked at as a savior by studios and publicists alike to salvage a movie's reputation. Even better, emphasizing a review aggregate site removes the human element from the equation. This means studios don't have to deal with toxic, oversized personalities like Harry Knowles overshadowing their movies, but it also removes the human element that defines the best film criticism. The best film critics from classic figures like Pauline KL, and Roger Ebert to modern day greats like um, Sid Siddhant Ad Laka and Angelica Jade Bastian. And brew their writing with specific personalities you couldn't get anywhere else. You are not just reading their pieces for a quote tailor made for a DVD cover or to find out if something's fresh. You are delving into their woods because their writing style is just so compelling, and through their mastery of words and clear passion for cinema, they can open up new ways of seeing a piece of art. That's the core of film criticism, not to be better than normal people or hate every movie or any of that nonsense. Film criticism is born from a love of movies, even when you are writing nothing but negative things about an individual film. The detached nature of Rotten Tomatoes and the exploitation of this aggregate site forget those human elements that define this art form. Hmm. All right, so I don't know. And let me see. Yes, so the decomposition of Rotten Tomatoes references a quote from Quentin Tarantino in which he mentions that he has no clue about what good film critics are even out there anymore. The saddest part of the state of online film discourse is much um is such bright, exciting voices are very much still out there. Individuals like Randy Jones or Zoe Rose Bryant are fresher faces in the field of film criticism that offer insightful glimpses into movies of all shapes and sizes. The works of these and other standout modern film critics offer hope for the future of a medium that can live up to great movie based outlets and publications of years past, like The Dissolve. Um, Unfortunately, the dominance of Rotten Tomatoes and the ubiquity of studios and publicists exploiting this site casts a grim shadow over the landscape of modern film criticism. The newest controversy involving Bunker 15 is detestable, but it's also only the most recent and visible instance of a troubling phenomenon. The very nature of Rotten Tomatoes is to replace human faces and detailed breakdowns of individual motion pictures with just quantifiable numbers, in essence trying to reduce films to just mathematics. But of can the works of DG Brill, Diop, Man Betty, or David Lynch be properly broken down into calculus or fresh status? A binary approach to cinema is reductive to art and critics alike, the latter of which deserves a much more freeing environment to break down individual features. Um, there has always been criticism of Rotten Tomatoes. Sometimes it's over something silly, like wondering how Mr. Peabody and Sherman could get a higher RT score than The Wolf of Wall Street, and other times it's been more serious charges over the site, offering ways to further the kind of corruption seen in the days of David Manning and Harry Knowles reigning supreme over all online movie chatter. Given the ongoing trajectory of online writing towards artificial intelligence content, it's doubtful these problems, which seek to undermine the human soul of film criticism and cinema, will be going away anytime soon. These new flaws of these new flaws with Rotten Tomatoes are nothing new. Unfortunately, also likely transform into a preamble for further denigration of film criticism in the future. Hmm. Well, yeah. Unfortunate, yeah. Yeah. So let's see what else we have here. Yes, let's get into some TV stuff, and I'm gonna do a little something something with the I'm gonna do a little something something with the places to do for the weekend. I'm probably not gonna be able to get to 296 tonight, but most likely I'll try to see if I could do it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. All right, so now we can go into now we can go into all right, so we're gonna get into uh the Futurama season 11, all that other great stuff whatsoever, and 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 a segment that I like to call TV show checkouts right here, man. All right, so let's get into it here. Hang on, hang on 1 second. Okay, hang on. All right, all right, here we go. Okay, all right, on to the Futurama story. Let's get into it here. Let's get into it here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Um, yeah, the Futurama shit. Um, hang on 1 sec. Um, okay. All right. All right. So okay, we have what the hell? No. Okay. Okay. All right. Here it is. Here it is. Related to Futurama. Um, Here it is related to Futurama. So this is from slashfilm.com. So let's see. So if an animated sitcom goes on long enough, it will inevitably make an episode about unions. The Simpsons, for instance, delivered a classic in season 4 with Last Exit to Springfield, in which Homer ends up leading a union strike that shuts down the power plant. It's the episode that gave us the absolute banger that is Lisa's pro union folk song, as well as that delightful montage of Mr. Burns and Mr. Smithers trying and failing to run the power plant by themselves. The world runs best when workers are properly compensated. The episode argues even when those workers are as incompetent as Homer J. Simpson. Oh shit. Oh shit. Did not even see that coming. Yeah. I don't know if incompetent would be the word to describe Homer J. Simpson. But anyway, even South Park with its tendencies towards reaction reactionary, both sides bad social commentary, went unabashedly pro union with its 22 entry unfulfilled. In that episode, the town gets taken over by Amazon and the characters engage in a high stakes, high energy fight against Jeff Bezos. It spouts pro worker rhetoric with only the tiniest whiffs of irony. It's a far improvement from its season 12 episode, uh, Canada on Strike, which was basically a mean spirited 22-minute long mockery of the 2007 writer's strike. Showrunners Trey Parker and Matt Stone have had a lot of bad takes over the years. But when it comes to supporting unions, they've approved a lot. The latest episode of Futurama title related to items you've viewed also takes aim at Amazon as its stand in Mamazon drives all the smaller delivery businesses into bankruptcy. Admittedly, the jokes the jokes about the drones are a little played out, and the reference to peeing in bottles feels like it would have hit better back in 2018. The episode's a collection of references to well-known law mock complaints without much of the righteous anger that makes a pro-union episode so vital. Still, there's a lot to love here. And what should come as no surprise to any longtime Futurama fan, Mamazon is being run by Carol Miller, aka Mom, the evil villain who constantly revealed to be responsible for most of this world's problems. She's this show's version of Mr. Burns, a rich elderly character who rarely directly interacts with the other main characters, but who nevertheless constantly interferes in their lives, often without them even realizing it. The difference here is that there's been 1,000 years for wealth inequality to grow even more rampant. So mom's dastardly schemes aren't confined to just one town, but to the entire planet. It takes until season 6 for Burns' schemes to escalate to him blocking out the sun over Springfield. Mom is already trying to get her robots to take over the whole world by season 2 in her show. Of course, Mom isn't always the villain, whereas Futurama usually uses the head of Richard Nixon as the figurehead for whatever political issue it's satirizing. Mom is mainly put in charge of whatever parody corporation is currently making the headlines in the real world. Early into the show's Comedy Central run, they basically made her the head of Apple, selling her iPhones to billions of sheep-like customers. Oh man. This also turns out to be part of a plan even eviler than encouraging smartphone addiction. She uses the new technology to create over a million tech induced zombies. And as far as we can tell, she gets away with it with zero repercussions. It's a funny, deliberately anticlimactic ending, one that only reinforces just how corrupt the world of Futurama is. The ultra rich can do whatever they want all the time, and the most anyone else can do is ask them to stop. All right. The main strength of this latest episode, the sting that was understandably missing in those pro-union episodes from The Simpsons and South Park, is how AI, aka artificial intelligence, is taken a bit more seriously. When Mr. Burns tried to get a bunch of robots to run the power plant, it was a disaster because that was 1993, and robots sent to um, sentience was a long way off. But now it's 2023 and AI, aka artificial intelligence, is able to do a passable job at seeming sentiment to the average person. The whole idea behind Bender's character, a guy who's technically a machine, but who's got plenty of genuine emotions and opinions, is a little less ridiculous today. So it's not a surprise to see Mom exclusively hiring robots to her business. They don't need to be paid and they don't need breaks. So, from a cold hearted business perspective, it seems like a no brainer. But of course, the robots start taking over the universe, and Mom refuses to stop it because it's technically still making her money. As far as Mom knows, these robots are about to doom all of humanity, herself included, but she lets them keep going anyway. Um, just like with corporations today, short-term profits override any obvious harm down the road. Very interesting. Very interesting. Um, down the road. Okay. In light of the ongoing writer strike, which has already been solved already, this all feels pretty timely and important. It seems clear that many studio execs want to replace human writers with machines for the short term profit, even though it seems unlikely that audiences will still be turning out to see movies once they are largely written by soulless, unoriginal drones. Related to items you've viewed is far less specific to the writer's strike than the season premiere, but the immediate backfiring of the 100% robot workforce sure does play like a pro WGA message. Let's see what else. Of course, humanity doesn't actually get wiped out because that would end the show. Instead, the robots running Mamazon successfully encompass the entire universe without harming anyone inside of it. So the episode ends with a collective shrug from all the characters. Yes, the Amazon Parallel Company has taken over the world in the end, but things will basically be the same going forward. The show will likely throw in some fun Amazon gags in later episodes to reward long-term viewers, just like it kept casually having characters use their iPhones technology ever since attack of the killer app. Um, let's see. Um, while it would have been nice if the episode had taken a stronger, more passionate stance on the episode's events. Sorry about that. What the hell's going on here? I'm sorry. Hold on, folks. Okay. Hold on a second. Of course, humanity doesn't actually get wiped out because that would end the show. Instead, the robots running Mamazon successfully encompass the entire universe without harming anyone inside of it. So the episode ends with a collective shrug from all the characters. Yes, the Amazon Parallel Company has taken over the world in the end, but things will basically be the same going forward. The show will likely throw in some fun Mamazon gags in later episodes to reward long-term viewers, just like it kept casually having characters use their iPhone technology ever since Attack of the Killer app. While it would have been nicer if the episode had taken a stronger, more passionate stance on the episode's events, that sort of aloof cynicism on display here is perfectly on brand for the series. The world of Futurama is one where every problem in current timeline has been taken to its extreme logical endpoint, and the humor is mined from the absurdity of the characters just going about their mundane existence anyway. Even when there are suicide booths on every corner where corporations are advertising to you in your dreams, when Amazon has successfully gained a monopoly on the delivery market to the point where it literally encompasses the entire universe, people just go about their lives like usual. There's the unions may be destroyed in this universe, and Mom once again has faced zero consequences for her greed. But at least the characters still get quick, convenient shipping, so it's pretty much a happy ending. Hopefully, in the world, our standards stay a little higher. In other Futurama news, the 10 biggest difference between the original series and Hulu's reboot. Let's take a look here. Yeah, let's take a look here. And this is from Screen Rant. So let's see. So the Hulu reboot of Futurama has made visual changes to the opening credits, including the addition of Hulu Presents and a Hulu original before the title card. The Hulu reboot of Futurama incorporates more continuity from past episodes, building upon old storylines and references for its plot. Excuse me. The Hulu reboot of Futurama features more typical storylines and humor, parodying current events and making references to pop culture. Let's see. There are some minor differences between the original Futurama series and the Hulu reboot. Most of them are evolutions in the story, reflecting just how long Futurama has been running and the history it has developed. Other changes came from the evolution of television comedy in the streaming age. One thing that hasn't changed in the Hulu Futurama reboot is the original series' amazing voice cast. Bender's voice actor John DiMaggio agreed to return after a lengthy dispute over his salary. However, while the voices of all the core characters remain the same, there have been some changes from the original Futurama series. Let's see. Let's see. So, okay, so let me see. Number 10. Hold on a second. Number 10, the opening credits. The most obvious visual change in the Hulu Futurama reboot comes at the start of each episode. Rather than jumping directly to the series title card, each episode opens with white text on a black background reading Hulu presents and a Hulu original. When the Futurama title card does appear, the F and T spin around for a few seconds, changing to a H and L to spell out Hulurama. Finally, there are a few changes to the opening scene of the Planet Express ship weaving through the New York skyline, such as Bender being briefly visible uh, under the ship, trapped by the ship's magnetic lift. Um, more more continuity. Number nine. While the original Futurama series did have some progression in its story, it was largely episodic. Casual viewers could watch any episode of Futurama and be sure of getting a laugh without having to worry about the overall plot. By contrast, Hulu's Futurama draws deeply upon the show's history, building upon older episodes for its plots. One prime example of this is Futurama season 11, episode 2, Children of a Lesser Bog, in which Kif and Amy start parenting their children. This built off the original series episode. Gets knocked up a notch where Kif was impregnated and the resulting children were completely forgotten at the end of the episode. Um, Number eight, more typical storylines. Another change in the Hulu Futurama is an increased number of storylines parroting current events. The original Futurama had its share of um, t- um, topical episodes, but Hulu's reboot has a greater percentage of these stories. For instance, the Futurama reboot premiere, The Impossible Stream, features a good deal of commentary regarding the business practices of streaming services, how the West was 10100001 tackles the problems with Bitcoin through an Old West metaphor as Professor Farnsworth drags the Planet Express crew westward to join the new Bitcoin mining rush. Yeah, I don't know about Bitcoin, man. That shit's more complicated than all that shit. Number seven, more typical humor. The comedy of the original Futurama series was usually character focused. The early seasons focused on Fry and derived much of their humor from his status as a fish out of water when it came to the culture of Earth in the year 3000. Even after Fry acclimated, the show still tended to focus on jokes based on the characters and their personalities rather than pop culture parodies. While these jokes are still in the Futurama Hulu reboot, there seem to be more referential gags, such as the many streaming show parodies, which are promoted as Fry attempts to binge every episode of the fictional soap opera All My Circuits. Number six. Oh man, All My Circuits is like a mini version of All My Children, which was off the air years ago. Yes, so number six, less B stories. In script writing, a B story is a secondary plot spinning out of the main story or a a story. Typically, a B story will focus on a show secondary characters rather than the core cast. Most of the classic Futurama episodes had B stories that spun out of their A stories, such as the Kif and Amy romance that grew out of the events of Amazon Women in the Mood. Most of the Hulu Futurama reboot episodes lack B stories, with the supporting characters being ignored, except when they are doing something in service to the larger narrative, like taking care of the comatose Fry during the events of the Impossible Stream. Okay. Um, Number 5, my favorite number 5, more focus on the ensemble. Despite the lack of B stories, the Hulu Futurama, hang on a second. Yes, the Hulu Futurama reboot does put a greater focus on the ensemble outside the core trio of Fry, Leela, and Bender. A prime example of this is the Futurama season 11, episode 2, Children of a Lesser Bog. Children of a Lesser Bog, which is a solo episode entirely focused upon Amy Wong and her efforts to prove she can be a good mother. Leela's pet Nibbler, who is truly a super intelligent and semi eternal being, gets a similar focus in Futurama season 11, episode 4. Parasites Regain, where he confronts the possibility of losing his intelligence forever because of a parasitic infection. Oh, jeez. Number 4, less cameos and cutaways. Curiously, while the secondary ensemble seems to be getting more attention in Hulu's Futurama reboot, there are a lot less throwaway gags than in the original show. Characters like Hammy, robot actor Calculon still appear, but usually as part of an extended sequence typing into the main storyline. There are far fewer cameos by recurring characters like hedonism bot or the news monster Marble, whose only purpose in the show is to offer a quick laugh before going off camera. Number 3, more drama. One thing that separated Futurama from the other adult animated series of the 21st century was its ability to break hearts as well as inspire laughter. Classic episodes such as The Luck of the Fryish, the Jurassic Park, oh shit, are rightly remembered as touching tear jerkers. The Hulu reboot of Futurama is leaning heavily in this direction, with more stories focused on traditional sitcom drama, such as Amy and Kip's efforts to prove their fitness as parents in Children of a Lesser Bog. Bureaucrat Bureaucrat Hermes Conrad gets a similar story about his attempt to bond with his son Dwight in How the West Was 10100001. Number 2, Les Fry and Leela romance. The romance between Fry and Leela in the early seasons of the original Futurama was a classic. Will they or won't they pairing. The relationship between the two waxed and won through the show's many reboots and restarts, annoying those who wanted the two to finally commit one way or the other. Thankfully, the Hulu Futurama reboot has left Fry and Leela firmly established as a loving couple, leaving their declaration of love from the end of the original series finale, meanwhile, intact. And finally, number 1, breaking the fourth wall. The original Futurama was not above leaning on the fourth wall, with numerous gags mocking the many networks carrying the show and the audience. The Hulu Futurama reboot takes this a step further with several gags that seem to have the characters talking directly to the audience. Chief among these is the final scene of The Impossible stream, in which Fry looks into the audience as he warns them to binge television responsibly, the same way they smoke cigarettes or drink bleach. Whoa! Drinking bleach. Whoa! Whoa! Drinking bleach. Nah, man, don't do that. Don't do that. Do not do that, and do not try this shit at home, folks. Like seriously, it's not good. It's just not, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's just not a good look, man. I don't know, and I don't understand why you would actually add bleach to this. So that's not really nah, man. That right there is just that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, what are you doing? Oh man. What are you doing, man? That right there, that's just crazy. Drinking bleach. Do not try this at home, folks. Do not try this at home. So President Nixon then turns to the audience to say, "Good night, God bless Earth and Aru." So you can check out the reboot version of Futurama on Hulu, season 11, and of course season 12 as well. So you can check that out for yourselves. And speaking of checking things out for yourselves, I got one more thing to actually I got one more thing uh to actually suggest for you folks at home. Y'all remember Michael Kerr, excuse me. Y'all remember Chad Michael Murray, right? Well, guess what? According to people, um, according to people, he made his return back to the CW. According to people, so so pack your bags and get ready to head to Nova Scotia. So Sullivan's Crossing is heading to the CW this fall. So the drama, which hails from executive producers Roma Roth and Christopher E. Perry, the team behind Netflix's Virgin Water. Oh shit. Virgin Water will make its US debut on Wednesday, which already started, and Wednesday, October 4th, already started. And People has the exclusive first look at the trailer. Sullivan's Crossing follows neurosurgeon Maggie Sullivan, played by Morgan Cohan, who heads back to her childhood town after her business partner is indicted for fraud, and she finds herself charged with negligence. There, she reunites with her estranged father, Sullivan, played by Scott Patterson, and meets charming newcomer Cal Jones, Michael Murray, formerly known from One Tree Hill, of course. Yes, it's a Gilmore Girls reunion. The trailer begins with Maggie laying on the dock and closing her eyes, then cuts to a montage of a scenic small town named Sullivan's Crossing. Cal asks if it's her first time there and offers to show her around. She politely shoots him down, claiming it's not a good time for her. I've been so focused on my career, I lost myself, she narrates as she's shown running out of a building in her office clothes, gazing over the balcony and looking frantic. Um, Edna, played by Andrea Bernard, says her father solely was heartbroken when his daughter left. Edna's husband, Frank, played by Tom Jackson, asks asks Maggie why she really came back and she admits that her life is not exactly perfect at the moment. Um, if you spend time if you spend your time trying to control everything, he narrates as Maggie smiles at Cal, you won't get a chance to see where life wants to take you. Sully assures Maggie he's always there for her, and she collapses into his arms crying. The trailer then cuts to a flashback of her and her father painting a tree on the wall of her room when she was a child, and shows her walking into the same room as an adult. Um, there are various shots of an emotional group hug, Maggie kayaking, and Edna and Frank dancing together. We treat everyone like family, Sully declares. At the end of the trailer, Cal sits next to Maggie and tells her to close her eyes and picture a place that she loves. She obliges, and a moment later, he asks, "Where are you? Where are you?" She opens her eyes and smiles as she looks at him, itching closer. Sullivan's Crossing is based on the book series of the same name by Robin Carr, who also wrote the Virgin River novels. Season one, which first premiered on CTV in Canada in March, will consist of 10 episodes. The series has already been renewed for a second season. It's a pleasure to be working once again with executive producer and showrunner Roma Roth to bring yet another one of my novel series to life on the small screen. Carr said in a press release, Scott Patterson is the ideal actor to play Sullivan, and both Morgan Kahan and Chad Michael Murray from One Tree Hill are the perfect fit as Maggie Sullivan and Cal Jones. Of course, man, you can catch Sullivan's Crossing on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Eastern time on the CW. You can even watch it on the CW app too, as well, in case you miss any of it, and you can watch it on demand. So there you go, right there. So there you go, right there. All right, let me give a shout out to somebody who came into the live stream here. Riri and JoJo. What's up with y'all? Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up right here, right now, man, because I gotta set up my clothes and stuff. I won't be able to have time to record 296. I'll probably record either Saturday or Monday. It depends on how much energy I have. All right. It depends on how much energy I got. So, it is what it is though. So, all right, without further ado, let me just get to the I'm gonna get to hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. Let me do let me do let me do hold on a second here. Hold on a second. Let me do hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me do hold on. All right, hold on a second, folks. I'm gonna do a little bit of everything of I'm gonna do a little bit of everything after I take care of stream choices on the go. Um okay, without further ado, not stream choices on the go, but remains to be seen, man. Is what we're going to be doing right here, right now.
Remains to be seen, kids. Get it? Remains to be seen.
Okay, we got some events going on not only this month, but next month to be exact. And shouts to the crew, including Natalie from the Least Favorite Podcast. There is a pop-up event going on Sunday, November 19th from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And it's basically presented by Greenhouse Productions, music by DJ Loose Cannon. The Bronx Brewery is located at 856 East 136th Street, Bronx, New York, 10454. It includes food, games, clothing, skincare, candles, crystals, jewelry, and it's going to be some performances by underground music artists. Showtime, Showtime Million Addy, um, Sania, Keith Winters, Lady Slim, Hazel, Baby God, B Morgan, Quay 80, Devin, Devin Angel, and A1. All right. Um, let me see. Let me see if I can find this again because let me see if I can find this again. Let me see if I can find this shit again. Cause there's so much stuff I need to hang on. Hang on. There's more I need to look at. All right. All right. So the there's more to this event actually. Hold on. I'm trying to look for it right here. Trying to look for this shit. Hold on a second. Um yes, so of course obviously yeah, and there's gonna be some vendors. There's gonna be some vendors actually included. 27 candles, um, 27 candles company, um, gorgeous bum, nothing something, the beard shop corporation. There is Lux. Wait, hold on. Support your local vendors. Wait a second. Let me see something. Vendors. There is yeah. There's so many. Wow. Okay. Hang on one second here. Um okay, embellished by Drea. There's pistachio hair wonders, um, and all these vendors. Yeah, you can do that right there. You can go support your vendors and all that other stuff right there. So there you have it. All right. Um Also, another event that's happening in November that I am going to get to, which is going to be so Miranda Rights. Miranda Rights is actually going to be doing some performances at the Shred the Runway event, which is presented by Shred Foundation. Presents Thursday, November 9th, hosted by Coco. Special performance by Miranda Rights, Brown Revolution Hall, um, located at 417 River Street, Troy, New York, 12180. All ages invited. Doors open at 6. Showtime is at 7:30. For more information, you can call 518-697-9570, or you can go to eventbrite.com to reserve your ticket or scan the QR code. All right. Okay, so we got we got more we got more to do right here. Um we got more to do right here. Let me just do the weekends coming up, which is from 20 to 22nd. I'm gonna do that one right now, actually, instead of doing it in the next episode. The next time I'll probably do things to do for the week in episode 296. So here we go. So according to amny.com, of course, obviously, don't just sit at home. There are plenty of great things to do around New York City this weekend. Here's a look at some of the best events happening around town between October 20th to the 22nd. Tomorrow, Friday, October 20th, in honor of Halloween. Fucking planes, man. Yes, yes, tomorrow in honor of the Halloween season that's coming up. Yes, tomorrow, Friday, October 20th, the Pumpkin Arch is back. The Pumpkin Arch, pumpkins, fall foliage. The Brooklyn Bridge fall is here, and the Seaport's beloved Pumpkin Arch has reappeared at Pier 17 for a limited time. Stroll down Fulton Street to Pier 17 to discover a bountiful seasonal frame to elevate your Halloween photos. Located at Heineken River Deck, the Seaport in Manhattan, New York, all day, and it's free. Also happening tomorrow, Autumn in the Sky, Edge, the highest outdoor sky deck in the Western Hemisphere, invites New Yorkers and visitors to experience Autumn in the Sky, a new seasonal immersive installation created by Ivy Joy, the visionary behind the popular Sky Bloom experience at Edge. Autumn in the Sky offers guests the opportunity to take in fall foliage from above the city as they walk through an autumnal tunnel that leads to stunning views of the New York City skyline. The Edge at Hudson Yards, Manhattan, New York is starts at 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Tickets start at $36. Wow, $36. Mm. Saturday, October 21st, learn about otter, otters in Brooklyn. The 42nd International Electro Music Festival 2023, 42nd, yes, 42nd International Electroacoustic Music Festival at Brooklyn College presents electronic music alumni extraordinaire featuring Nick Nelson, Alfredo Martin, Simon Brown, Ruben Sales, Jessica Damari, and Max Alper. This concert, hold on. This concert will be held in the Topfer Recital Hall, Room 250, in the Leonard and Claire Toe Center for the Performing Arts on the Brooklyn College campus. Brooklyn College is located at 2900, or how they pronounce it, 2900 Avenue H, Brooklyn, in Brooklyn, New York. And it starts at 2 p.m. Free. Sea Squirt's Outrageous Otters bring your small fry for a big adventure at the New York Aquarium. At Sea Squirt's Outrageous Otters, you'll explore, play, and move through the new play aquarium and other exhibits with your young Aquarius before the aquarium opens. New York Aquarium is located at 602 Surf Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 9:30 to 11 a.m. $30 and $24 for members. Ooh, okay. All right, so Sunday, October 22nd, Sweet Treats to Enjoy. NYC Artisanal Sweet Treats Bazaar. This is where insiders go to find experimental and small batch sweets that can't be found elsewhere. From insanely good donuts to never before heard of creative fudge flavors, sculpted cotton candy figures, handmade macaroons, freshly baked cookies and cakes, hot waffles, and the most mouth-watering truffles and chocolates you've ever had. Grand Bazaar NYC is located at 100 West 77th Street, Manhattan, New York, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and it's a free event to enter. And last but not least, we have Boo at the Zoo. Dress in your Halloween best and enjoy the Bronx Zoo's annual family-friendly daytime fall festival, included with Bronx Zoo admission. Enjoy magic and mind-reading pumpkin carving demonstrations, costume parades, crafts, and puppet shows. This new year, experience traveling skeletons. Um, discover um, the fascinating features of skeletons from a collection of animal species you might see at the zoo. Bronx Zoo. The Bronx Zoo is located at 2300 Southern Boulevard in in the Bronx, New York. It starts at 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and it's going to cost you $28.75. And to find more amazing things to do in New York City, or list your own event at events at amny.com. For dozens more events around our area, check out our sister sites qns.com, brooklynpaper.com, bxtimes.com, and longislandpress.com. All right, $28.75. Okay. Let me make sure I cover the bases. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I said I was gonna put the I said I was gonna put the other MTA topic on hold. And I was gonna put that on hold. Actually, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so that's gonna do it. I'm going to. All right, I'm gonna wrap up here. I'm gonna wrap up here. All right. There's gonna be more stuff to do. Um, there's some more stuff that I have to cover. But anyway, let's do this, man. Our last segment of the night is, of course, stream choices on the go. And for those of you that's new that don't know what that is, this is basically the last segment of the episode where I actually include places to to listen, stream, and watch the episodes, and of course, which includes social media. So here it is, stream choices on the go. All right, so make sure you follow the podcast on Facebook and Instagram. No, Facebook and Threads, alongside with Instagram, along with the other two shows that I do on a weekly basis. Thank you very much. Um, and yeah. So so yeah, it's yeah, so it's easy said and done. I'm sorry about that. It's easy said and done. Yes, so make sure you follow my other two podcast shows on Instagram, of course, Threads included, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks Podcast. This is what TLKS stands for. And you can follow Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast also on Threads and Instagram as well. And of course, make sure you follow um off the Meat Rat Chainz, off the Meat Rat Chainz NY podcast on the gram, as well as myself, G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Turn your notifications on when I'm going to be on Instagram Live recording podcast episodes, so you can know the topics that's going to be discussed and everything else in between. And speaking of topics, actually, what you want to do is go to the link in bio. You're going to see a whole list of artistry episodes and a way for you to watch episodes visually. So if you see Linktree/G Money Stacks 555, you're gonna see a whole list of platforms to listen, stream, and watch. You can download the apps onto your iPhones, Android phones, iPads, Android tablets, laptops includes Apple and Dell laptops with Windows. All right, starting with Odyssey, Audible, Amazon Music, Breaker, Bullhorn FM, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Pod Hound, Podo Polo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podvine, Snipped, Spotify for podcasters, TuneIn Radio, iHeart, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcast, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the number one app for music, radio, and podcast where you can listen to for free. Make sure you subscribe to all the streaming platforms, including iHeartRadio, and on follow the podcast on every streaming platform that I just mentioned. Be sure to follow three of my podcasts that's also on iHeartRadio as well, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks Podcast. I will be dropping episode 63 after I get off the air. And Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast review show is also on there as well. The 120th episode will be dropped next week of Tuesday. And Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast, 294 and 295 will be dropped tomorrow after I come back from work. And of course, do the same with YouTube. Make sure you grab the subscribe button on the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555. Click on the naughty bell along with alerts so you can be reminded of when the episode recording is going to be going live on the air via live stream, along with the date, day, and time. All right. So leave a like and a comment along with the episodes. Listen, stream, and watch the episodes. Share the episodes, share the videos, and be sure to be sure to download the episodes, share the podcast onto your playlist alongside with your favorite episodes. Tell a friend to another friend. Be sure to share, spread the word. Word of mouth is important. And of course, share the link and the podcast alongside with your husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, and whoever you meet, wherever you meet people. All right. That's gonna do it for me, man. I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka oh wait. There's one more thing I forgot to do actually. There's one more thing I forgot to do. Let me do oh boy. Let me do donuts. I forgot National Donuts Day. Oh wow. Um I forgot National Donuts Day. Let me just get to it right here. National Donuts Day. Let me just get that. Okay, National Donuts Day. National Donuts Day. I forgot about that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, folks. National Donuts Day. I forgot all about that. Yeah. So let me see. So let's see. National Donuts Day. This is interesting. I forgot all about this. So it's National Donuts Day. I forgot about this. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do apologize for forgetting one last topic that I'm gonna do with day. I had no idea that I was gonna do that one, but anyway, I'm gonna do it anyway. So oh boy, this is crazy. I had no idea about this shit though. Um, no idea. No idea, man. You know what I'm saying? No idea. Um, yes, for those of you who may not know what National Donut Day is, um, so this is basically oh wait, hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. So all right, so I'm really trying to figure out what that's about though. Um Trying to figure out what that's about though. National Donuts Day, 2023, history. Let's see. Let's let's see. I don't know, man. Yes. So Okay, so um oh my god. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so Na- National Donut Day is observed um on the first Friday of June is a delightful occasion dedicated to honoring the delectable um delectable hold on a second delectable delicacy that has garnered immense popularity as a beloved snack worldwide. This year, on June 2nd, 2023, we anticipate a day brimming with sugary delights, enjoyable activities, and abundant opportunities to gratify our taste buds. Across the nation, numerous donut shops and bakeries are poised to commemorate this event by offering enticing deals and promotions. These enticing offers um, may include complimentary donuts, discounts on donut purchases, and unique flavor combinations in some establishments. You may even discover exclusive donut varieties solely available on National Donut Day. Uh, Beyond savoring these mouth-watering treats, there are myriad ways to partake in the festivities and honor National Donut Day. Communities often organize donut-themed races, competitions, or engage in volunteering activities with local charities and non-organizations. This day also presents an excellent opportunity to delve into the history and cultural significance of donuts, appreciating the artistry and ingenuity involved in crafting these delectable treats. Whether you are an ardent donut enthusiast or simply seeking a reason to indulge in something sweet, National Donut Day promises a joyous and vibrant holiday that is certain to bring a smile to your face. So mark your calendars, gather your loved ones, and prepare to revel in the celebration of all things donut, which took place over the summer of no, this was before summer started. This was in the spring actually. So June 2nd, 2023 of this year is what happened. So National Donut Day is an annual celebration in the United States, takes place on the first Friday of June. Its origins trace back to World War I when the Salvation Army dispatched female volunteers called lessees to the European lessons to the European let's see. Hold on a second. Yeah, lassies to the European front lines. These dedicated women provided vital assistance and support to American soldiers. As a moral booster, the lassies uh, would, would distribute donuts, which would already a popular delicacy in in America. Oh shit, lassies. Oh shit. In 1938, the Salvation Army officially established National Donut Day as a tribute to the remarkable contributions of the lassies and as a means to raise funds for their ongoing endeavors. Today, this momentous occasion is widely recognized by donut shops and bakeries throughout the nation. Many of these establishments generously offer complimentary or discounted donuts to their patrons. Over time, National Donut Day has ingrained itself as an iconic component of American culture. Donuts cherished by individuals of all ages have maintained their status as a beloved treat, whether your preference lies with the classic glazed variety or you are more inclined towards adventurous flavors like maple bacon or matcha green tea. National Donut Day presents an ideal opportunity to indulge in this timeless American delight. Of course, there's National Donut Day significance. Yes. And let me see. Yes, so National Donut Day, observed on the first Friday of June annually, is a momentous occasion dedicated to commemorating the unassuring donut, a cherished delicacy relished by countless individuals worldwide. This day holds profound historical significance as it's originated in 1938, initiated by the Salvation Army to honor the remarkable donut lassies. Donut lassies. Oh shit. Oh shit. Who valiantly served donuts to soldiers during World War One. Amidst the turmoil of war, the selfless Salvation Army volunteers, affectionately known as Donut Lassies, fearlessly ventured to the battlefront, bestowing sustenance, moral, and solace upon the troops. Among the array of provisions they offered, the donut emerged as a symbol of hope and comfort for the soldiers. Gradually, the donut garnered immense popularity among the military ranks, immortalizing the donut lassies as legends, forever cherished for their altruistic service and the solace they brought to the soldiers. National Donut Day presently stands as a profound tribute to the donut lassie's dedication and an opportunity to honor the donut itself, and internationally adored and sought after treat. This day also serves as an invitation to relish the saccharine delight and explore the myriad of donut variations available today, from the timelines allured of glazed donuts to the innovative and imaginative flavors like maple bacon and matcha green tea. The options are plentiful, catering to diverse palates. Numerous donut shops and bakeries worldwide partake in the festivities of National Donut Day by extending complimentary or discounted donuts to their valued patrons. Consequently, this day has garnered immense popularity among donut enthusiasts across the globe. Therefore, whether you favor the classic appeal of traditional donuts or possesses an adventurous spirit yearning to sample more unconventional varieties, National Donut Day serves as an ideal pretext to indulge oneself and revel in the delights of this scrumptious snack. Okay, how do you celebrate National Donut Day, you ask? There exist numerous ways to commemorate the annual occasion known as National Donut Day, customarily um, observed on the first day of June in the United States. Indulging in delightful donuts stands as the most evident means to rejoice in National Donut Day. You may choose to visit your preferred local donut shop or bakery, or perhaps even attempt crafting your own delectable pastries within the comfort of your home. National Donut Day traces its origins back to the philanthropic endeavors of the Salvation Army during World War One. Reflect upon making a donation to a local food bank or another charitable organization dedicated to assisting those who are less fortunate. Extend invitations to friends and family, gathering them together for a joyous donut themed celebration. You can offer a variety of donut flavors, adorn the venue with decorations inspired by donuts, and even engage in amusing activities centered around the delectable treat. Donuts are available in an extensive range of flavors and styles. National Donut Day serves as the ideal opportunity to embark on a culinary adventure, sampling flavors you have yet to experience. Enjoy, no, excuse me, employ social media platforms to spread your passion for donuts, employing the hashtag National Donut Day. Additionally, use this occasion as a chance to enlighten others about the historical background of the holiday and the charitable undertakings undertaken by the Salvation Army. These are merely a handful of ideas to inspire your National Donut Day celebration. The utmost priority to relish in the pleasure of consuming scrumptious donuts while having a delightful time. All right. All right. So now that I got that out the way, all right. All right. Now that I got that out the way, okay. All right, so I'm really gonna wrap up here. Of course, make sure you listen, stream, and watch these episodes on every streaming platform that I just mentioned, which includes um Odyssey, um Audible, Amazon Music Breaker, Bullhorn FM, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Podhound, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podline, Snip, Spotify for podcasters, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the number one app for music, radio, and podcast. Um, be sure to be sure to grab the subscribe button on the YouTube channel page, as I mentioned, on the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555 for more live um videos, for more live video episodes to be exact. All right, so I'm up out of here. Thank you very much for those who got a chance to listen, stream, and rock with me. I appreciate you. And remember, the grind doesn't stop. The grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If if you're looking for if you're if you want to if you want something, you have if you want to if you want something, you have to earn it. You have to earn it and work hard. You gotta work hard and earn it. All right. And for the most part, let me get to of course, find and look for something that clicks to you, that makes you happy mentally, creatively, mentally, physically, and spiritually. All right. And and of course, be on your P's and Q's, be confident in your craft and what you're trying to create and what you're trying to put into the world and universe and everything else in between. And of course be sure to keep going, keep growing, be on your P's and Q's that gets you into your zone with tunnel vision. All right. I'm up out of here. I'm up out of here. Um, Good thing I went back to do the last topic of the night, which is dedicated to National Donut Day. So, all right. So I'm up out of here. Thank you so much for listening, tuning in, and rock with me. And I'm not gonna be able to do episode 296 today. I'm going to try to do it either Saturday or Monday. All right. So enjoy your weekend. I hope y'all enjoy the places to do for the weekend that I just suggested to you. And also, if you're in the LA area or any other state whatsoever, including New York, and you want some more stuff to do for the week or the weekend, you can go to www.timeout.com. All right. That's www.timeout.com/things to do for the week or weekend. All right. Let me get up out of here. Peace and one love. Enjoy the rest of you. Enjoy your weekend. Be careful out there. Be safe out there. Don't let anybody stop you from following your goals and dreams and everything else in between. Yes, peace and one love. Good night, everybody.